Let us build a bridge out of the good greatness we have in common. No more jail now. No more jail now. No more jail now. No more gIvebLack. Scroll call before the books, before the ledger.
Just like art, right? Art takes what was somebody's trash, and all of a sudden it becomes a purse that you go buy. And so, in a context that this building was a 100-year-old building since 1915, and it would have been another eyesore in our community. You know, we got 2,000 vacant lots in North Lawndale. You know, so we already have enough stuff that's there. We have a ton of different abandoned homes that X is on them, that the fire department says don't come into this house because it's not, it'll fall apart. So why not take a building and artistically create it kind of recycled in a way that can be used? And so even the concept of firehouse, right? The fire department goes into fires to put them out. We go into the lives of young people to spark fires, right? To spark a flame one kid at a time. And so all of those dynamics, we really believe it was kind of called and sent to us to make that happen. I am Pastor Phil Jackson. I serve as founder, executive director of the Firehouse Community Arts Center, and senior pastor of a church called The House, which is a hip hop church, been around 10 years, and associate pastor of Lawndale Community Church. But my ultimate call and commitment is to love God, love people, love our young people into their purpose and destiny, and using the arts as arts and redemptive transformation. You know, we have 183 churches in this neighborhood, so we don't need another church, really. We just need people of God to do what they're going to do. So our context is, how can we reach young people with the message that, you know, God hasn't forgotten about you. Here is what we see in the Word, His plan, and using hip-hop culture. And hip-hop is who you are, rap is what you do, and the dynamics of what that means to, you know, the culture. And so we started this church 10 years ago on the first Saturday of the month, and it's a worship service, so it's an effort to create a space, a safe space where young people can figure out, learn, experiment, connect with God in a way that they're familiar with through hip-hop. And we have banging artists who are theologically, what we call biblically, culturally sensitive, but are not over the top with stuff that they may feel typically uncomfortable with. So young people are coming there saying, yo, where can we do the arts every day? We dance. At that time it was footworking and jerking, right? And so being able to try to do it in church spots, and we want to cook, so we started doing some cooking stuff. We started doing film classes. And then it was like, we need a space to do this. And so the same students then birthed the effort to put an art center together. So that's kind of how the two kind of merged together. 5 particular disciplines. One will be visual arts, where we do everything from ceramic arts to murals to, you know, piece paths that young people will create, to a recording studio where we teach audio engineering and sound production. Everyone wants to be a rapper, but, you know, not everybody knows about the music industry. So maybe they suck at rapping. They think they can rap because their cousin said they could rap. But they're good at making beats, or they're good at business, and we need a lot of HR people. And then culinary arts, where we're going to teach people how to cook healthy food, and it's going to taste good, because sometimes that's the scare in the hood. It's like, what that is, that good. And all of a sudden, you want to start making some food that tastes healthy. And then we'll have our tech lab, in which we're going to do some creative, innovative areas in technology, 3D printing, networking, language, coding, and push young people in that context. And then last will be our dance. And we're just going to do everything from West African dance stuff to tap, to modern, to ballet, to street dance. What people may have disregarded Lawndale, right, as one of the 13th most dangerous communities to live in the country, that a rose grows through concrete, that this is the place where they bought some item that was in a 3D printer from some kid on the west side who knew how to create the app to make that. What? So that's the kind of stuff we want each program to do. Our target is to reach 12 to 25-year-olds, because the new adolescence is 30, right? So in the context of cats still talking about, I'm finna hoop again at 27, and you didn't do good in high school hooping, but you finna. So we still believe, in North Lawndale specifically, we had the highest rate of unemployed 18 to 25-year-olds, right? And so 6% of the people I think in our community have a big college degree. And so our effort to really awaken that dynamic group of people to say, yo, just because this happened, that happened, doesn't mean things are done, or you fell short in whatever the case is, but let's tap into that. And so 12 to 25, that's why the gap is that way. But we will have sections of the time at the Firehouse where there'll be just this group, and then college and high school and college age will be together so that they don't feel like I'm babysitting type of stuff. You know, our context is to continue that freedom in the church in a Christ-centered way. And so we have a DJ. We have DJ Ruckus. We have 2 DJs typically at the house, and we'll have an MC. We have a pole. We have some breakers. We can't tag the walls up. We have graffiti through the PowerPoint, through the media shout kind of stuff going up, and then I'll preach in some kind of way that's making it engaging. So it's a dialogue back and forth, not preaching at you, but with you. And one of the things hip hop has been able to sustain itself for so long is that it has been sender receiver friendly. And I care for you. I care about what you're feeling right now, and I want to affirm that. So I say that in my whole life of working with young people comes out of a kid growing up in the projects in Kansas City not being heard. A lot of churches are preaching institutions, not necessarily ministry institutions, right? So if you were a ministry institution, then all you have to do to stop the violence in the schools or the lack of education or lack of strength in education is there's only 700 schools. Oh, so just say there's 1,000 schools. That's like 10 churches per school. All you need is 5 people in each of those churches, each of those communities to roam the halls to stop little Billy and them from chasing Shaquisha and grab a booty, and then tutor after school, and then have a basketball. It will be over with. Our desire is that we can build sustainability, and sustainability comes from an array of different people with skills that can make that happen. So part of our effort is to get a COO type person, program director, somebody who can manage and manage the flow of the schedule so the dancers aren't banging their music too loud when they're trying to learn code, and the code people aren't doing, DJ class is not doing this, so everything can kind of synchronize and the food is coming in on time. So a program director, COO type person, and an admin person with some skills around grant writing and follow-up, because sometimes grant writing is not as big of a deal as much as it is the daggum details that they need along the way. I love the West Side because we are west of State Street. I love the fact that it has been labeled, even by the Chicago Tribune, by a book called The Millstone, as America's permanent underclass. So it's almost like a curse that Chicago Tribune did so many years ago in the 80s when they wrote this book about it. Yet, you know, like Pac says, a rose goes through concrete, so grows through concrete. So in the midst of all of that stuff that's there, and the lack of employment and the lack of economic strength, and 18% of the people own their own home versus like 50 or 60% in other communities where it creates jobs because businesses come in. It is where I believe, one, God has led me, and then two, almost to some degree, can be considered by others the darkest place. But I never look at our kids that way. I look at our kids like, yo, you the bomb. You go to the Green Tomato type restaurant, that's normal. That's how normal is supposed to be. You value here, you count here. When you know that you count, you know that you belong. And that's our creating what we call belonging environments or reclaiming environments. Our context is we can create what we call permission ships, that you got permission to be a nerd in the tech lab to create an app that somebody bought in Phoenix, Arizona while you was at school. You came back and checked online and saw you got $8 in there. And, oh my God, I'm the man, I'm the woman, I'm making more apps. So now you begin to say, I got permission to do this. But that's the core of it. As we start with relationships, then we know we can trust one another, right? Because forever, like Common said, I ain't gonna be rapping. So forever, I ain't gonna be preaching. So if I realize that, but forever I want to get to know you and we're going to be cool, then we can figure some stuff out while we got this minute, while I can still remember your name. And then we can maybe do some things together. So as much as we start with those relationships, and one relationship we have in Little Village will trickle into Pilsen. And so the folks we know at Pilsen. So we do some stuff with Kevin Coble, with Loudon and Bomb, and do some stuff with Malcolm and all those cats over that way. And we do some open mic stuff, and then we do some stuff with Enoch Muhammad Hip Hop Detox, and trying to partner together more with that Corey Brooks, what he does on the South Side, and there's some other stuff that we do with Pastor Hatch on West Garfield, and so it's all through those kind of relationships that we feel that trust is there. So my message to Black leadership is to reach back, and to reach back with the purpose of discipling, to point into, to raise up, and the Eagle Scouts, they say you can't be a true Eagle Scout until you raise up another Eagle Scout. I mean, I wish that would be the case for black leadership in Chicago, that you can't really be official in your role or whatever it is you've titled yourself or those or others until you've raised up some other folks who've said, now I'm another Eagle Scout. Then we could say we're really doing something. You know how much it takes to get lead paint off a daggone building with Raekwon and Shaquisha and Ronell and them? Oh my God. I know y'all ain't on nothing. 3158 West Fillmore. What? I ain't scared. I needed something that's gonna help me. You know, mama said knock you out. Shotgun blast to her. So I'm like, ah. I do direct services. I connect with the kids right there. Man, we got everything. I feel like a used car salesman. You come on now. You come on now. I don't know how to type no letter. I got 2,000 people following me. Ooh.